Recording is on.
All right. So let's dive straight into today's business. I'll be sharing my screen shortly. Can we see my screen, please? Okay. Thank you, Peace. It seems it's only Peace that is responding on this call today. Oh, that's what's wrong. So I can see your screen. Oh, okay. Okay. I did that one. Thank you. All right. So today we continue with introduction to product management. So yesterday we talked about product management and how product management evolved. That's the history of product management, which can be traced back to P&G, Procter and Gamble. And we also mentioned why it's very important, why PMs are important in every organizations. And also we talked about the strategic roles of PMs. So today we would continue. Yeah, so this is where we stopped. Let me just brush us straight again. So yeah, we started with what product managers are, like having what they really do, what the product managers do in organizations and firms. So we started with that. Then we proceeded to the history of product management, which started at a brand manager uh, role from P&G and evolved to what we have as the current day product management. Then yes, we spoke about why product managers matters in every organization and also the strategic roles of PM. So today we'll go into the product management methodologies. So product management have their own methodologies as well. And we'll be diving straight into we'll dive more into each of these let's say in our next class or subsequent classes. The first one that we have is the agile. So we have the agile methodology. So this is a flexible, iterative approach where products are developed in small increments, allowing teams to adapt quickly to changes and feedbacks. What does this mean? Agile. Like I said, I mentioned yesterday that uh, most organizations embrace agile environment. Why? Because agile is flexible. And I also said as product managers, we should be open-minded. We should be open to learning. We should be flexible. So when you are flexible, that means you are agile. So for most products, most organizations, especially in the tech space, they use the agile methodologies, and that's why we'll be diving more into our agile methodology in other classes. So they use agile because customers needs changes. So as customer needs changes, you as a product manager, you also have to guide the stakeholders involved. You have to be flexible. So agile methodology involves being flexible. So always note the keyword. When you hear of agile, it is flexible. That is, it can change. You are not rigid to change. An iterative approach. You keep iterating, like I said. When you do your minimum viable product, ship it to the market. You keep iterating your improvements. So it's when it comes to agile, it takes an iterative approach. So products are developed in small increments. You do not wait for the product to be fully developed. So you ship it out in small increments. This way, it helps you, it allows your team to adapt quickly to changes. Not like you want to build an application, like we cited an example yesterday, building a fashion hub that connects people to fashionistas to store their dresses and get it delivered to their doorstep. Now, you do not have to wait to have all of the nice to have features. You ship out your products in bits, in smaller bits. This way, other people that have the same idea or the same initiative as yours do not launch to the market before you. But if you say you want to ship to the market a ready-made, like everything is complete product, at the end of the day, it might be out of the market by the time you are done building. So that's why most organizations embrace the agile methodology, because it gives room for iterative approach, it gives room for flexibility. So when you ship in future A and your customers are complaining, your customers are not adopting, you can easily iterate your improvement and ship out the next version. That's why we have the version 1, version 2. You keep iterating your improvement. And that's what the agile methodology does. So, and it allows your team to quickly adapt to changes, because they are not building a full blown product here. Now they are building in bits. So when something changes, when your requirement changes, they easily adapt to it that, oh, okay, no problem. They proceed and build. Then it also helps you to get feedback, because this is when you ship out your MVP, that's when you're able to get your customers' feedback. So it helps you to get that feedback. That's one important uh, advantage or edge that agile methodology has. Then another one is the Scrum. We made mention of the Scrum. That was the one where we talked about product owner mostly using the Scrum methodology. Now, Scrum is a specific agile framework that breaks work into manageable sprints, usually lasting a few weeks with regular checks in and adjustments. Now, when it comes to Scrum, I mentioned sprint as well in I think our first class. I mentioned sprints. So we might wonder what sprints are. Yes, we'll also break all of this down in subsequent classes. Now, Scrum framework. Scrum is also agile framework. It breaks down work into manageable sprints. Now, sprints are like sprint is also like it's under Scrum. So sprint, you can call sprint a meeting. So sprint is a framework whereby you break down your work. If you remember the one I said, when you gather your requirements, your designer have designed for you, now you send it to your product, to your project manager, who in turns break this thing down into sprints. Now, a normal sprint should last for 2 weeks. So sprint is a duration of time where you break down your work. You want to have a future. Future A is sign up future. Now you break it down. What are the things involved in sign up futures? You list them. Now you break it down into smaller pieces and put it on your tool. You can use Jira. So let me use Jira as an example. When you're breaking it down into sprints, you put it on Jira that, okay, backend, what does backend need to do for sign up? Okay, backend is to provide us with an endpoint that the front end will call for sign up. You give them a user story. Okay, what is front end supposed to do? Front end is supposed to consume that endpoint that backend is going to be providing, and also design a UI for the customer. How do you want the UI to be? The sign up button, how do you want it to be? Should it be in a rectangular shape? What color are you looking at? Like, what are so these are things that you break down. Okay, when this is done, the QA will test. So all of these would be under the sprint. So, and that is where efforts will come in. Okay, how long is it going to take you to do this backend? Backend can tell you it will take me 5 points. Each point is 2 hours. Yeah. So depending. So backend can tell you, "Ah, this thing will take me 20 points." You calculate your 2 hours times 20. That's when it will finish. So for every sprint, every normal sprint ends by 2 weeks. So when you start your sprint, there's what we call the sprint planning. The sprint planning is where you have all your engineers, the product manager is there, the project manager is there, the QA is there, the designer is there as well. Then you explain to them before the sprint planning, the project manager must have broken this down according to the requirement that the product manager has given to the project manager. And so the project manager has added it to the sprint. Now you are coming on that call, sprint planning, to plan that sprint, to open each of the smaller piece that the project manager has put on the Jira board. I will be using Jira as an example because I use Jira. So you are using Jira, you've broken it down to okay, feature one, sign up, backend. This is what backend is doing, this is what front end is doing. Okay, now you are opening each of these tickets. When you put issues on Jira, it's called tickets. You raise a ticket on Jira. So you are opening each of those tickets saying that okay, this is it. Front end, this is what you are to do. If there is design, you attach your design to the Jira board, that same Jira ticket. Then you're asking your engineers, what questions do you have? Are you clear? Is there a need for clarity? How long is it going to take you to finish this feature? So you are planning the sprint. At the end of everything, you collate the number of times that the engineers are still. It's not your work as a product manager anyway. That's for the project manager to do. So the project manager collates all the numbers of effort which amount to days, weeks for the sprint. So and after everything, you see that okay, for this sprint, it's going to take us 2 weeks, it's going to take us 3 weeks, it's going to take us more. So the project manager has an idea of this because he manages time and resources. That is his own specialty. So he's able to denote that this is what it's going to take them. So that's the sprint planning. So after a week, for a normal sprint that is 2 weeks, after a week, you come back and have your sprint review. So your sprint review is for the last 1 week, how far have we gone? What have we been able to do? What are the things remaining? So you call the same persons that were available for the sprint planning, you still be the same persons that will be on the sprint review meeting. So at the end of the sprint, you have a sprint retrospective. So that's you like celebrating your milestone that we've been able to accomplish this. For those that you were not able to accomplish, you carry it over to the next sprint. You have sprint one, sprint two. In fact, I think I've had like almost sprint 50 something. So you keep having your sprints like that. You carry over items you know you were not able to complete in that previous sprint, but by the end of 2 weeks, you end your sprint and take it to another sprint. You start the process again. So there is usually room for adjustment. Okay, this is what you've done in week one. Okay, I feel this week too. Okay, do this better. The engineers come on that call. They demo what they've done to you. You're able to say that, oh, this is a sign. Okay, and I think this thing that you've done, yes, is nice, but can you make a little modification to this? To that scrum. Then we have the lean methodology. It focuses on delivering value by minimizing waste and maximizing efficiency. So when we talked about lean now, lean as the name implies, it helps like you're working with let me say you're working with more limited resources now. So you want to maximize your resources. You do not want any waste of engineering resources, any resources at all. Development time, you want to maximize it and ensure that you are efficient. So that's that kind of method. You quickly test and validate ideas via MVP before you fully commit to them. So you first of all test every of your MVP before you now say, oh, okay, uh first thing first, you do an MVP, then you test it. Does this thing work? Do we really want to commit into this? So when it works and you feel you want to commit into it, that is when you will now start building. So in this case, it helps to minimize waste, minimize uh or help you to maximize efficiency so that you don't end up building what people don't want, or you don't end up wasting development time. So you quickly, like, you are testing and validating first before you commit your resources into building it. Then lastly, we have the waterfall. It is a more traditional and linear approach where each phase of development is completed before moving on to the next. It's less common in modern product management but still used in certain industries. So you can call this waterfall like a traditional method. It's more traditional. Most organizations do not use waterfall because waterfall involves that, okay, you want to do this particular development phase, you have to finish it first. You have to finish every phase, complete every phase before you move on to the next. You cannot say, okay, I want to do this, I want to do this, like just ship out your MVP. No, you have to complete each of the cycle, which is time consuming because before you finish completing the cycle, the markets may no longer need what you are building. So oftentimes, in fact, most organizations no longer use waterfall, except all this traditional organization that use waterfall. So what most tech organization use these days, it's agile and scrum. Agile and scrum. So we'll move on to the product manager response. Let me know if you have any question based on the methodologies that we discussed.
Ma, please, can you go over the difference between Agile and Scrum again?
Okay. So agile, like I said, agile is flexible. Agile is flexible and it's involve iterative approach. That is, you keep you ship out feature A, test it, customers test it, you get their feedback, come back with your engineer, reiterate it, reiterate the improvement. For for Scrum now, Scrum involves using sprints. You break down your work into sprints, whereby for each of the features that you are about to launch or that you are building, you put it down into smaller, you break it down into smaller pieces where your developers come together and check in. So for Scrum, it takes like a period of 2 weeks for each of uh the sprints. It takes a period of 2 weeks. So, but for agile is more. Let me just. Scrum is a specific agile too. It's like a specific agile environment. But agile is more iterative. Scrum, in Scrum, that's when you have what we call product owners in Scrum. In Agile, you have more of project managers. Sorry, you have more of product managers in Scrum. So Scrum, let me say, Scrum is still under Agile. So it is a specific form of Agile, but Agile is an iterative approach. Agile is like, let me say, Agile is like the parent. Scrum is now like under Agile. It's also like a form of Agile. I don't know if you get it.
Yes, ma. Thank you, ma.
Okay. Any other question from anyone?
No question, ma.
Okay. Feel free to ask your question, please. Uh,
Ma. So which one is more advisable to follow?
so Agile.
Like which one is the most effective?
Yes,
Okay,
Agile
Agile.
is more most effective. Agile is most effective.
Okay, ma.
Agile is more because it's more flexible. It's you can keep iterating your feedback from customers to improve. So agile is most effective and most organizations use agile. We use agile too. because customers' needs are always changing. So you should not be too rigid. You should not be too rigid as to not be able to change. You should not say, "Oh, this is the way I want to do it," and it's it's now so much difficult for you to change. But Scrum is like it's still a form of agile methodology. So most organizations even use agile and Scrum interchangeably. So agile is like it's how would I put it now? Agile is a philosophy. Let me put it that way. It's a philosophy or an orientation. Sure you get. But Scrum, it's a specific methodology of how one manages the product. But like an agile now, it's more of an orientation. Okay, this is it. But Scrum is a specific methodology which uses the agile approach as well. Are we with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, any other question? So always note that Scrum is an agile approach as well. And note that agile does not always mean Scrum because there are many methodologies that takes an agile approach. So that's what you should know. There are many methodologies that takes agile approach. So agile is like a philosophy. But don't worry, one of the classes we'll talk about, if not tomorrow though, we'll talk about agile. We'll speak more of agile. We still have what we call Kanban as well. So we have so many methodologies anyways. We have so many methodologies. So we'll talk about it more. Yeah. Any question on that before we proceed? Okay, so
No, ma'am.
all right. So we'll move on to product manager responsibilities. So first of all, as a product manager, we've been speaking more of roles, what because we cannot be product managers if we don't know what is expected of us. We need to know what is expected of us, what we should do. And that's why we've those past days we've been speaking more to what we should do, what is expected of us as product managers. So we need to be up and doing, we need to really know what to do as a product uh manager. And that's why we're having this again. Product managers responsibilities. First, identify and prioritize. You prioritize things. Priority is very important. So prioritize the key requirements for specific product future. So at a PM, you have to identify a problem. Identify that there is a feature that needs enhancement. Identify that there is a product that needs to be launched. Then think of all of the requirements. Then you have to prioritize the requirement because the engineers don't know how, like you will be the one to tell the engineer this is what I wanted to build. So you cannot tell them I want to build a fashion app or I want to build a fintech app that allows people to send money. How do you want them to prioritize the future so that they don't end up building let me what kind of let me see they don't end up building nice to have features like instead of them to start with sign up login, they will now start with send feedback, complaints, or maybe they other features like referrals or other services. No, you have to guide them as a product manager. You have to prioritize the key features that okay, what are the first features that we need? Okay, sign up, login, send money. You tell them the way you want them to do it. So they act based on the key requirements that you have given them and according to your prioritization. So, and the same thing with the project manager. The project manager works based on the prioritization that the PM, the product manager here, has given to them. In fact, my engineers, we cannot even reach out to them. The PM cannot even, that's the project manager cannot tell them to do this. They'll tell you, go and sync with Elizabeth first. Because I set priority for them. Anybody cannot just come from a cross-functional team and say, hey, I tried using the app. This is the issue I have. Can you quickly help me fix? They will not fix. So even if it is a bug, they will not fix until I tell them that, okay, guys, do this. This is what you should do. This is our priority at this point in time. And that is how you should always be thinking. Do not allow anybody to do your job for you. Prioritize key requirements. Developers should work based on the requirements you have given them. My developer will never go out and work on a feature I did not ask them to work. You tell them to do this, they will refer you back to me. Go and meet Elizabeth, liaise with her. So even since everybody knows that, they will rather come to the product manager and say, okay, look at this thing is not working. Okay, and this is what we feel. Okay, then I'll look at it and be like, no problem. We'll look at it. If it's something we'll look at, or if it's something I'll just tell them. Some of those things I don't even take it to my developers because I'll be like, oh, okay, no problem. This is a nice to have feature. In her subsequent version, let's say in our version 2 or 3, we can add this feature. So I do not even need to disturb my engineers with that because I know they are working on other things, which I have given them as priority. And that is how it should be. Set your priorities. Prioritization is one of the responsibilities, important responsibilities of a product manager. Do not allow your project manager to do that. Your project manager is in charge of project, managing timelines. So do not giving you resources that you needed. Do not allow him to do your job for you. The second one is investigate customers' challenges and conduct in-depth root cause analysis. So now you have to also, as a PM, investigate customers' challenges. What are the challenges customers are experiencing using my fintech application? For instance, I'm doing an app that allows people to send money. People are not able to send money. People are not able to save their beneficiaries. So I have to conduct an in-depth root cause analysis, meaning why. What is the cause? Okay, at that point when customer is doing their KYC, doesn't know your customer, the biometric is not working. Why is the biometric not working? I need to conduct my in-depth research on this. How do you conduct the user research? Sorry, how do you conduct your root cause analysis? You have to use the application yourself. For every application I have built, I have it on my device as well. I am the first, in fact, before QA, most times I even test more than QA. Somebody has reached out to me, my fellow PM, managing another product, was like, I've not seen a PM that is passionate with testing as you are. Because I do not wait for my QA to test before I test. I test it first. I test what I ask my engineers to build. I stay on call with the developers to test the application. When they are still on the call, we share screen. I share my phone screen, I share my laptop screen, depending on the kind of application we are testing. So for you to know what challenges, customer can reach out to me. Hey Elizabeth, we cannot do this. Oh, first thing first. Okay. Always learn to give customers a hold response. Like you get back to them. Once I'm sending that I'm checking and getting back to them. First thing first, before I even reach out to my engineer or escalate, hey, I cannot do this. No, I don't go to the engineers directly. First thing first, the customer has complained that they are not able to do a live, let's say, a live capturing now when they are doing their KYC. So the live capturing of the video is not working. So what do I do? I carry my phone. I test it. That same thing that they have reported. I test it and ensure I'm getting that same error. If I do not get that same error, I reach out to another person to test for me. Let me see if that person will get it. So once I validate that yes, these challenges is happening, this error is happening, all fine and good. Then that is when I know how to go back. I already know that, oh, this is a problem. Then I can now go back to my developers that, oh, guys, let's jump on the call. Customer is having this issue. I have tested and they are also having it. And at that point in time, we need to know why they are not having, why customer is experiencing that issue. So what we do is while we're jumping on a call, it's for them to troubleshoot, for them to check the log. So I am trying to simulate the same thing that the customer has experienced or complained about. And my engineers are also checking the log to see if there's any error. If there's any error, they quickly tell me, oh, they already know what the error is. This is why they are getting this. And we troubleshoot it. We troubleshoot it on that meeting. And once we troubleshoot that this is the error, we'll fix it. Customer is happy, everyone is happy. So you should learn as product managers, as aspiring product managers, to always conduct your in-depth root cause analysis. So if something fail, my engineers cannot tell me they fix it. All fine and good, thank you for fixing it, but what is the cause? I would always want to know so that if it's due to the setup, we do not repeat the same mistake again. We'd always want to know what is the root cause. Always, as aspiring product managers, always try to conduct a research and do your in-depth root cause analysis. So another one is collaborating closely with design teams to enhance the overall customer experience. Yes, you and your designer, you should work hand in hand with your designer, your user interface and user experience designers. That's UI UX designers. That's the product designers. You should work with them, check their designs, and that's why I said you should be able to use all of these designing tools like Figma. So you should be able to use all of these tools because there's no way you want to collaborate closely with your designer when you cannot use the tool that your designer has used, when you cannot use the tool that your designer have used to design for you. So you should be able to navigate through Figma, able to navigate through Adobe SD, but it's people use more of Figma these days. So be able to navigate through it, collaborate with your designer. Oh, designer, I love what you did. Always one thing, eh? Even when what they do is not good, you don't like it. Don't flare up. Hey, what is this? That's how you can build good relationship with your designer. Appreciate them. Thank you very much for this. I appreciate this that you've done. This is nice. But it will be better if we could have this. So that's one thing you should learn. It will be better if we could have this. So collaborate with them in a way that it enhances the overall customer's experience because design is everything. Most customers these days they are looking at the design. This app is say this, I love this. Sure you get your design should be giving and feeling user intuitive. How can you achieve this? Work closely with your designer because whatever your designer designs for you is what your front end team will implement. Another one is to develop and implement a comprehensive product strategy. So we also be looking at how to implement product strategy later in the course of our classes. You have to develop and implement a comprehensive product strategy. Strategize on how strategize on how you want to carry out your product, how you want your product to look like. You as a product manager, it is your responsibility to implement your product strategy. Have a documentation, and that's why I said keep using your Google Doc for all of this. That's it. Then guide and influence cross-functional teams throughout product development process. You have to guide them. guide, like guide these people. You work cross functional. You are the manager, you are the owner of that product, you are the CEO of the product. So guide them. You are telling them, hey, front end, this is what you should do. Back end, this is what you should do. QA, this is what you should test. So you need to guide your QA as well, because your QA, you are the one that knows the strategy and the creativity behind your product. So you understand your product better than the QA that is testing for you. So therefore, you have to guide your QA. Let your QA know what they are testing. Sometimes you are testing a normal a behavior. Your QA is testing another thing. So you have to guide them. Oftentimes I have meeting with my QAs that okay, they will even call for meeting. Elizabeth, please, let's understand this. Because it is only when they understand the vision behind that product, that's when they can test that product effectively rather than just testing as a normal user. They should be able to use the product. So you have to guide your front end, your back end, your QA, your designer, and your marketing team. You have to guide your marketing and operations team as well, because your marketing team will go and preach your products to the world, and they cannot preach what they do not know. So you have to guide them, you have to educate them on that product, because you are the CEO of that product, you are the one that built that product. And influence, you are not only guiding them, you have to influence them, you have to lead by example. That's why I always say you have to exhibit, like I said yesterday, exhibit a good leadership role. That leadership skills and traits should reflect in everything you do. Influence them. You as a product manager, you are not up and doing, and you want to engineer. If you lag, your engineers will lag, you'll be happy. Engineers, they will be happy. Don't call them now. Leave them. Let them be doing their own. Just leave them. Let them be doing their own. Don't call them. I call my engineers as in a day we can speak for like 5 times, 6 times. I'm always calling them, checking up on them. Because if you leave them, they might say, no problem now. Everybody has no nobody's disturbing us, nobody's mounting pressure on us. So you have to influence them. You have to be up and doing. When they see how up and doing you are, they will be the one disturbing you. When you do not check up on them, when I don't check up on my engineers, they message me, hello, is everything fine? They'll know that it's either something is wrong. So you have to also influence them. Let them see the passion, let them see that vision that you have for the product, so that they can all work hand in hand to bring this product into life. I don't know. Are we following at all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, 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 okay. All right. Let's move on. So that's that. The another one is you have to oversee and maintain the product roadmap and manage your product releases. You have to oversee and maintain your product roadmap. So there's something we call product roadmap. So we're still going to be looking into that as well. So you have to have your product roadmap so that you do not divert or digress from what you should do as a product manager and for the product. So and you manage product releases. You will be the one to tell them that, hello guys, by this time next month, so date, we are going to release our product to the market. Don't let other team members come start asking you, hey, let's do this. You are the one, you are in charge, you are the CEO of the product. You are the one to know when version 1 will be released and when version 2 will be released. You are your own CEO. So you have to manage product releases. Okay, in the first 3 months, let's look at what the adoption looks like. Okay, after 3 months, let's ship in another version. Okay, every month we're shipping a version. Like, be in charge, manage your product releases. Manage your product releases, and you're able to say, oh, from version 1, this was what version 1 was. This is version 2. This is what we are looking at for version 3. Manage all of this as a product manager. Then, lastly, you have to clearly understand and articulate the product's value proposition. Has any one of us heard about value proposition? Anyone, any idea? You can use the chat box as well. Anyone?
No, ma.
Okay. Let me see. Anyone using the chat box? Okay, no idea of value proposition. Okay. All right. When we talk about value proposition, we talk about what the innovation that you intend, the value that your product intend to bring in a clear language that uses what the customers want. So we are saying that, oh, okay, oh, uh for your value proposition now, your value proposition is to build a product that satisfy uh human needs. What kind of human needs? Like you streamline it to what exactly the customer wants. You streamline your value proposition that, okay, for this product, what's the product's value proposition? What are you looking at? Why do you want to do this? It's answering that question of why should your customers buy from you? What motivates your customers from choosing you among other alternatives? So value proposition is just like the key to managing and winning your customer. It's just like, let me put it like it's a campaign. You are telling your customer that, no, this is what why you should, I can do this for you, and this is why you should consider me. This is why you should buy from me rather than buying from my competitors. So value proposition sets you outside. So for every product, there should be a value proposition. So it's a statement. Let me put it this way: it's a statement that clearly outlines the unique benefits and value that your company offers to customers. So it simply answers that question of why your customers should patronize you. That's your value proposition. So you should also, as a product manager, your job is to understand. It's not about writing your value proposition. You should understand and articulate your value proposition well, such that when you are communicating it to your customer, you are not doing me, 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 me. You are not stammering. Customer, my user, this is why you should buy. This is the value that we are providing for you. This is the value we are creating. So you are saying it in clear language, convincingly, like you are sure of what you are saying. So you are in charge of it. Understand your value proposition. Every product should have a value proposition. So understand and articulate that value proposition, because that is your selling point. Questions, reactions before we move on? Any from anyone? Let me check my screen. It's creating value for the customer. Yeah, matter. Any questions so far? Okay. Mm. Martha, you're raising up your hand. Please proceed. Martha, are you there? Oh, was that a mistake? I thought Martha was raising up her hand. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, okay, that's fine. All right. So we move on to product life cycle. We've talked more about product life cycle, but we've not really gone in depth into what product life cycle is. But we like from the definition of product management, we say okay, product manager oversees to the management of a product life cycle. So now, product. What is product life cycle? Even though the most people believe that there are more to all of this product life cycle. It's, let me say, it's diverse, yes, from persons to persons, but yes, we still have a guideline for product life cycle. Now, product life cycle, we've always said that a product manager should oversee from inception to the death and even more. Now, when we talk about product life cycle, we have ideation stage. So that's when you generate your product idea by identifying user problem. Now you cannot generate ideas when you don't even know the problem. Think of a problem and look for a way to solve it. When you think of a problem, this is the problem. Just like in our assignment, somebody said TikTok has no voice recording feature. That's a problem. So now you need to look at, you've identified the problem. How do you solve this problem? How do you solve the problem? You now start generating, okay, what about we put like a microphone button where people are able to record? How long is the recording going to take? What's the minimum? What's the maximum? Uh, should somebody be able to delete it? Like you start generating ideas. Or what about we don't use a microphone icon, or we do not use recording, or you have to, that's why I said have a book of ideas. You start generating ideas. Okay, this is it, this is it. You've already identified the problem. Okay, what if I do it like this? What if I do it like this? What if I use another thing that is not like audio notes for users to use? So you start generating your idea. So that's the ideation stage. That's ideation inception stage. The second one is the validation stage. Now you have like 100 ideas, 100 ways to implement audio notes on TikTok. And you're now like, out of this 100, I cannot use all of this 100 now. You now start narrowing that, it seems this one, this one is not a good fit. You cancel it out. This one is out of it. You start narrowing down your ideas. You can narrow it down from 100 to 50. Gradually from 50, you do 20 to 10 till you get that particular idea that is worth pursuing. So you start to validate your ideas. Start validating your ideas till you get that one that is worth pursuing. Once you now get that, this is it. I finally got it. I can pursue this one. Let's decide to use a microphone icon. When user records, it records their voice for a period of 30 seconds, then stops. Okay, that's the one you want to use. Then you have to start building. Then you now build a prototype. That's when you now reach out to you write your requirements now. You have to write your requirements first, because all these ideas that you have written, you have to make it into your product requirement documentation, which you will in turn give to your designer. Your UI UX designer will now design a prototype for you using wireframes, mock-up designs. When your designer designs for you, you review your design as usual. Okay, this is it. Does it really communicate what you want? If yes, no problem. Then you push it to your developers. Your developers look at your documentation, they look at your designs, they ask you questions, you clarify, you all agree, you are aligned, you sync with them. They start building the product. They start building the product. Once the product is built, you've tested with your QA, everything works fine. QA has certified that this product is good and good to be launched to the market. Then you release the product to the market. That's the launching stage. That's when you release it to the market to the general public to be able to use. When you release it, depending on the kind of app you are releasing or the kind of solution you have built, you make it available on App Store and Play Store for people to download. Now, people is now accessible to the general public. You get people's feedback. That is when you now say, people are trying to log in, but most time there's a glitch. You start getting feedback. This feedback are what you will now use for your next stage of product life cycle, which is the growth. You improve the future adoption. You have to improve the future. Oh, okay, this one I built, and I should have. Most customers, they really do not have time to be filling in a lot of details. Okay, let me minimize the kind of details I collect. Let me put this feature. So you start adopting features based on this feedback that you have gathered, and you improve the future. So when you improve your features and there is more adoptions, you improve it, you get increased adoption. People are using your app. That means your application is growing. Then it matures. When it matures, your maturity stage is where you maximize revenue, where you derive maximum satisfaction. You make money in return, and you also ensure that there's customers retention. Then there's sunset, which is the retirement stage, meaning your products at your product is more like the decline stage now. The decline stage, yeah, you can call it the decline stage. Now, many people no longer, they're not using the product again. So then, as a product manager, you step in and look, do you need to pivot your product? Do you need to improve the feature when necessary? You need to take it out of the market completely and bring it back to the market when you fully like bringing in another product or modifying that same product. That's the sunset stage. So like most some organizations, when they put out their product, at some point they will run it. Yeah, I've also witnessed one. There's at the point in time we had a product everyone has been using. So at some point we withdrawn that product from the public. Not because we are tired of making money or we don't want to make money, but we want to pivot that product. We want to improve it that when it comes back to the market, the people will start adopting it more. So we had to bring it out of the market, do a lot of changes, a lot of revamping, take it back to the market, relaunch it back to the market as another product now. Another cycle begins. That's why, as a product manager, your job does not end. Once your product decline, you have to look for alternative, bring in another thing, or pivot your product. As a product manager. Any question on product life cycle before we proceed? Okay. So another thing here is understanding your customers and markets. As a product manager, your job is also to understand your customers and the market trend. Understand your market trend, understand your customers, understand your market fit. Now, successful product management begins with understanding who your customer is. Yeah, I said this in the first class too. You have to understand who are your customers. See, as a product manager, note Okay, sorry, I'm just looking at all of these. Okay, Oluwatofumi, you said you want to ask a question on Agile. Please proceed. Oluwatofumi, you can proceed to unmute your mic, and you can also use the chat box. Okay, you can just drop it, then I'll come back to that. Let's go back to the class. Are we following me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So, as a product manager, you have to understand your customers, and you should note this as a product manager that your product is not for everybody. See, you cannot build a product that is for everybody. If you build a product that is for everybody, should I say you are wasting your time or you're not adding value? So you cannot build a product that is for everybody. Your product should target specific audience. That's one thing you should know. Your product should not be for everybody. It's not everybody that your product should be for. That's one thing you should always know as a product manager to succeed. So now you have to understand who your customer are, what they need, and the environment they live in. So you have to improve, you have to validate all assumptions and use your insights to guide the product's decision. So when you understand your customer using this, then you can now guide your product decision that okay, this is the future I want to be for this product. This is the vision behind this product. Now, first thing first, when it comes to understanding your customers, you have to customer segmentation. You have to break your customers into segments. Break your customers into segments. I mentioned it in the first class. You have to note if you are building an app for a fashion person, know if this app is for people that are in the is it for women or men? Is it for females? Sorry, is it for male or female? Is it for children or adult? You need to know this. Then that's the first thing first that you should always know as a product manager. So first thing, divide your customer, like understand your customer, break them into different segments, different demographic, which is their age. What age are these kind of customers that you're looking at? What's their gender? What's their income? How much does your customers, the intended user, how much do they earn monthly? You have to, this will help you to make informed product decision. Then the geography, that's the location. That's the location, the geography. Where are your customers? Are they Nigerian customers? Are they outside the world? Which state are they? You have to break it down into this. Then there's another thing we call psychographic. The lifestyle of your customers, your intended users, their interest, their behavior. You cannot say you want to launch a fashion app now that we use yesterday. Now you want to launch a fashion app and you now be targeting people that goes to white garment church, that maybe they even stay there, they live there. Let's not, because people, it's not that they don't wear clothes, other clothes, so they have just one garment. Maybe they work in the church arena. It's not as if they go out and you're targeting them. Your product will not succeed. So you need to look at the lifestyle, what interests them. Are they fashion oriented people? What's their behavioral pattern? You have to look at all of this. So another thing is the behavioral pattern of your customers. How do they use the product? What's their purchase habit? You are launching a fashion app. These your customers. How many times do they change clothes in a year? Like how many times do they buy new clothes in a year? How many times do they buy new clothes in a year? How much do they spend on clothes? What kind of clothes do they buy? They can get all of these through surveys. There was a time I wanted to venture into I think I was thinking of what to do. Like I was like, oh, should I be selling male or female wears? So I did a survey and I sent it to my contacts. Oh, the survey was just asking, how often do you buy clothes in a month? And what's your how much do you spend on clothing? What kind of clothing? What's your gender? So it's just for me to have an insight into knowing the kind, knowing the kind of clothes I want to delve into. Is it going to be female clothing? Is it going to be male clothing? Where am I going to get more returns? So you need to look at the behavioral patterns of your users. So another one is user research. Still on understanding your user now. User research. Now we have two types of research. We have the qualitative and the quantitative research. For qualitative research, we have the customers interviews. This is when you interview your customers. Okay, I want to do fashion. I want to do fashion business. Okay, how you are interviewing just like the survey I said I sent. So now this is you asking them in persons now, having an interview for them. How many times do you buy clothes in a month? How much do you spend on clothes? It's more of doing all of those things content creators do now that they meet people. What's your can you tell us the cost of the outfit? So something like that is trying to get insight into what is the behavior of this person. That's a qualitative research method. So when you do your customers interviews, when you do interviews for people, just to gather informations and data that are a qualitative approach. Then there's focus group. There's something we call focus group. Focus group is you have people, you have a set of people, like you have a set of people who are experienced in this field or who help you to test your product. So there's a time we did that. So like there's the focus group. We are building an application and we have a focus group for you. So the focus group, in one way or another, they already have experience in the software that you are building. So when you build, when you write your requirements, when you build, you demo to them, they check it, they give you their input. This is what we feel it should. This is what we feel you should take away. Okay, many people. So you, they are now your users. So you get ideas from them, and they help you build your product effectively. Then there's another one that is contextual inquiry. So you observe customers in real environment, like these customers, these intended customers in their real environment. What exactly do they do? Are they the kind of people that likes fashion? I want to be in a fashion app. Do they really like fashion? Do this person how how many times in a year have I seen this person buy new clothes? So you observe them in their real environment. Then another one is user journey mapping. So you be like, okay, from this person now, the user journey mapping is uh user logging into the app, doing this from this. How is the user journey like? You map it out. How many people will be able to wait if your user journey is too long? Like how many of your users can be able to wait to the end? Does people really like this user journey? You get your data from that as well. Then usability testing. That's when you already do like a prototype of it and check, okay, how many people are really even using this app, how do they use this app, how do they interact with this app. So you also need to look into that. There's another one that we have, the quantitative research method. So that's survey. Like I said, that there was a point in time I had to send out surveys to my friends. So that survey, you see some people too, they'll say, hey, I'm currently doing a survey. Surveys is usually done, especially when you're writing your final year projects, you write surveys, you send surveys to people to answer. So that's a quantitative approach. So you can also adopt that for your product management. Then there's another one, product analytics. So you look at your product, what the analysis is behind it. You take analytics of, okay, how many people are even using fashion app these days? How do they interact with this fashion application? So these are things you look at. These are things you look at. Then there is the funnel analysis. Funnel, like when you sieve, you are sieving it. When you sieve your, how will I call it now, your user, you sieve them to a particular pattern, that, oh, okay, let me use this after I've mapped out my customers to be this, to be that, then what exactly it's the number remaining. So you use the funnel analysis to look at, oh, this product should be viable. Okay, let's look at it. So it's another quantitative method of getting data. Then we have the heat maps. The heat map is when you use different colors to map our customers' behavioral pattern. Now, oh, okay, for this, just hold on, let me show you an example of an heat map. Something like this. So it's more of doing your competitive analysis. So when you use different colors, just like you are seeing on this screen now, you use different colors to denote. So this one is showing you that for product one, this is it for product two. So it's using of different colors. That's the heat map. Then sorry. Then your alpha and beta testing. So when you do your alpha and beta testing, you test the app in-house. You already build your software and you are giving it to people to test for you, so that you can get their feedback. It's not open to the general public, yes, but yeah, it's open to some set of people to test. Yes, we do that also, where we have our beta testing. We do not It's not open to the general public, but yeah, some group of people can test and get us their feedback. Then we iterate based on this feedback before we now generally ship to the general public. Any question on this before we move? Okay, are we still with me? Are we following? Are we bored?
with you, ma.
Okay, okay. Oh, okay, okay, okay. All right, let's proceed. So let's still on identifying your customers now. Another one is you identify your customer pain points. Pain points. What do we mean by pain points? Now, there's a particular, just like the name implies, pain point. Understanding your customer's name, their frustration. So you like, what is customer's frustration? Okay, let me use people like InDrive, Uber, Bolt, and the likes. They understood customers' pain points, and that's why they came up with that app. That they understood the fact that most times, especially in Lagos is very busy after work. People are stranded, commercial vehicles, palava. Oh, these frustrations of the customers, the frustration of users, just because they need to transfer themselves. Then they thought of a solution. Okay, however, we have a ride whereby on your app you can just build your ride, you can just order, and they will come and pick you up. Before you know it, the driver will come pick you up. That's Then you are no longer frustrated. So they understand customers' pain point. Okay, another transport should I call it transport business or is it software now that I came across recently is Short Last. Short Last also understands the pain points of customers. What Short Last does is Short Last have different type of buses, fully air conditioned buses now. They understand that most people might not be able to afford Uber, Bolt, and the likes. So here comes Short Last. Short Last will take you for as low as I think there's 1,000 something, say, depending on your location. From even from mainland to island, Short Last has taken me how much? Sef? I think it was 2,000 or 3,000 naira. 3,000 naira, yes. Fully air conditioned. What does Short Last? They built an application, a mobile application for users. All you need to do is download the application. When you download the app, you register. Then you book a ride. They tell you this is a 14-seater bus, this is a 20-seater bus. They tell you that for this particular bus, there's going to be stopovers, 14 stopovers. Those stopovers are where they are going to be picking passengers. So you have to order ahead of time. You pay for your ride with your card. You can also recharge your wallet. So they tell you that you pick the bus stop closest to you. They tell you that once you book the application, I mean, once you book the ride, you see the number of your driver an hour before the ride. The number of your driver is there. You call your driver. Your driver will even call you. This is when they are leaving that bus stop. You have to be there. They get to the bus stop. They pick you up. They pick other persons up too. Once they are done picking everybody up, they zoom up. Very convenient. They will not pack you like geisha. You sit, you relax, you are comfortable. And they are very polite. That's one thing about it. It's not like the usual commercial bus. Like everybody's polite, everybody's entering, passengers are entering and they are greeting you, they are greeting everyone in the vehicle, they are dropping, they are saying thank you, Mr. D's. Like they're thanking the driver. Like it's even when you meet your what's it called, when you meet your ride, your money is gone though, what do you miss? But even at that, but they will let you know before the driver leaves, he will let you know he's leaving. So they understand that yes, people work in Lagos, there's usually traffic, there's usually problem of commercial vehicles, not everybody can order ride. So they introduce short last, going to different places. All you need to do, you can even book an hour before time. If ride is still available, then you join them, relax, they will take you to your destination. You drop at your bus stop. So that's understanding current frustrations of customers, and from that frustration you are preferring solution to them. That so understand your customers pain point. Friction in the friction in their workflow. If there's friction, oh, you make use of that. Oh, okay, what's the friction there? People close from work, getting home, it's usually late, they fight with conductors, this and that. How can I come in? What solutions are they using now? They are using public transport, which is not efficient for them, which is not convenient for them. How much the problem cost? That how much the problem cost them? Their time, the money, the effort. They wasted much time. Conductors will drop on the road, they will fight with everybody, be dropping and picking people, wasting people's time. Before you know it, it's already late. They are tired, they are frustrated. Conductors will go with their change. They will not give them change. When there is rain, they hike up price. All of those, you also have to identify all of those things. And those are the things, why all of these things are very important is they would help you when you are writing your customers personnel. There's customers are personas, so it's going to help you. That is why when you see a product, the importance of customers personas and the importance of identifying this customers pain point is Like when you build your software, when you build your product, there is this aha moment, or there's this excitement in a customer that wow, this product is built for me. Like, how do they know? Like, is this person a soothsayer? Because you use real data. So when you see it, you'll be like, oh no, 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 this product is built for me. And that's why you have to understand their pain point. So that when they see this, they will refer. I was somebody referred me to Shotlass, and I started referring people. All like that. And not just that they give own rides like that. You can even charter them. Maybe you are having a company event or something. You can rent their buses. They have bus rentals. So that's one thing about this thing. You have to understand customers' pain points. So now, what are these tools that you can use to understand your customers' pain points? Problem trees. So like, okay, what kind of problems do people? It's actually like it's a tool anyways, but I'll just touch base on it. So problem trees is like different problems that customers, users can encounter. Like it's you more of you drawing tree. Okay, this is Ade. Ade's pain points. Ade's problem is looking for something to eat for lunch, getting ready to go to work in the morning, traffic before getting to work, having to meet up with deadlines at work. So like you are trying to get all of these problems that one person or a customer is facing. So out of all of these problem trees that you have drawn, which one are you solving? Then there's another one that is five whys. Why? Why? Why do customers complain about this? Why are customers frustrated? Five whys, meaning why is this thing not working? Why you have to give five reasons, five whys, why customers are frustrated. These five whys will give you reasons why your solution is important and why you need to build it. Then there's the empathy map. The empathy map is putting yourself in the shoes of the customer that okay, if I'm the one, you draw an empathy maps. If I'm the one in this customer's shoe, I'm frustrated, I need to get a ride, I want to get to work early, I the stress, the frustration. So these are just tools. You can still go back and look into all of these tools adequately. Then building personals, yes. So building personals, that's what I mentioned earlier. That when you understand your customers, it helps you to build your customers' personals. So yes, when you build a personal, the personals represent your ideal customers exactly. So your personals, there's customers' personals. It represents your ideal customer. You have to look for a person, an actual person that needs your solution. Okay, you build your personnel. This is uh Abiola. So I cited an example here. Okay, but before we get there, let's quickly brush through this first. So it represents your ideal customer with their name and demography. You are telling us the name of your customer, where the customer is the customer, what's the customer age, your demography, the customer gender, the background of the customer. What does your customer do? Is the customer a civil servant? Is the customer a product manager? Is the customer a lawyer? What are the goals and motivation of your customer? Okay, this is Abiola. Abiola goal is to own a business. Abiola goal is to maybe in the next 5 years leave the country. What motivates Abiola to do what he's doing? Okay, money and other things. He loves to do what he's currently doing. What Abiola pains points? Okay, Abiola pain point is he needs an invoicing app because the current option he has is too expensive. So what's the behavioral pattern of Abiola? Abiola, Abiola is a church person. Abiola used to go to church. Abiola likes drinking with friends. What tools does Abiola currently use? Okay, Abiola uses he has a car. So you like it's writing about that your customer, the exact customer, your ideal customer. So an example here, Abiola, small business owner in Lagos. That's what it does, showing you that this person name is Abiola. He lives in Lagos. He's a business owner, a small business owner. So what is Abiola's pain point? Abiola needs an invoicing app for his business because the ones he have are too expensive. So he needs an affordable business app. So that's how to write your personals, your customers' personals. But yet, before the end of all the training, yeah, you should still get more insight into writing customers' personals. So customers journey mapping as well is one of the ways to also understand your customer. You have to visualize how your customers interact with your product by looking at the awareness, the consideration, the onboarding, the usage, the support, and the retention. How the customers interact with my product. What's the awareness that has been creating for this product? Uh, when you're creating your awareness, what are the platforms? Are you using Facebook? Are your users even on Facebook? Are they on TikTok? Are they on Instagram? What are your considerations for this, for users to be able to use this product? Is it that, okay, for instance, Abiola that is looking for an invoicing app, why is it trying to use your own? Is it because it's cheaper? Is it because it's easy to use? So what's the onboarding like? What information do they need? Is the onboarding process seamless? The usage, what's it like? What support are they giving? Do they have like a chat bot in case they run into an issues and they could no longer proceed? Then retention, how many of your customers come back using the app, or most of them, do they, after signing up, they refuse to come back to the app? So these are also ways to understand your customer. Then yeah, we have the market understanding. For you to understand the market, you do your market research. You do your market research, your competitive analysis. Your market research is, okay, what is in the market? What does the market need right now? Try and understand your market. Make more research about the market you are going into. Your competitive analysis, you're going into the market, okay, who are those doing this thing I want to do? How do they operate? How are they getting their customer? You do everything that you know about our competitive analysis. Then the market trend and emerging opportunities. What's the trend like? What are the opportunities that are emerging? Do Are people really using this kind of applications that you intend building? What are the opportunities available in the market at that point in time? And you also have to look at future opportunities. Do not look at present alone, like I always say. Always look at the future. The future. Then you have to define your product market fit. It's this product fit for the market. It's your product fit for the market at this point in time. Is it what the market wants? That's why you need to do your market research. It's for you to understand the market that you are launching into. First thing first, you understand your customer. Now you also have to understand the market that this product is going into. You have to understand the market, and that's why you need to do all of your competitive analysis. You have to do all of this in order for you to understand your market. Do we have any question on that? Okay. Lastly, we go to
Sorry,
what?
I have a question.
Okay, please proceed.
Yeah, this is personally about the marketing. I was thinking maybe they will have some business people that does that. Is it the work of the product manager to do some market analysis and all of those? I'm thinking maybe there will be business analysts or business something that can do that.
Yes, you're very correct, Babatunde. But it's not all organization that have business analysts. Shake it. They don't have business analysts. So you have to also do that. You have to, even if you have business analysts, you work with them to get all of these. But in situations where they don't have, you have to step in and conduct. It's not as if you have to go to the market most times. You make your research online. You do not have to go to the market. I've not been to the market like to conduct my market research because yeah, of course we have the marketing team, and even marketing team these days are not, you cannot even, I'm not sure we have marketers these days that still go to the market, physical market, and start saying, hey, we do this. What we do now, it's more of digital marketing. So yes, with you should work with your business analyst, and if not, are you as a product manager also needs to do your market analysis, your competitive analysis to help you build the ideal products that you're looking at. I don't know if that answers the question.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
All right, thank you. All right, moving on. We'll move on to product manager skills. So we have, I kind of divided it into two segments. We have the general skills, we have the soft skills, we have the technical skills, the leadership, and the advanced. I'll start with the general. So the general skill that every product manager and aspiring product manager should have is strategic thinking. You need to be able to strategically think at a PM. You need to be able to strategically think through things. A lot of ideas will come. You have to be able to be strategic in your thinking at a PM. And you also have to be market sensitive. There should be this market sensitivity, what the market wants, what is currently in vogue, so that you do not end up building things that the market do not need. Then as a product manager, you have to have that user-centric approach skill. Always approach things from the user's perspective. As a product manager, you have to approach things from the user's perspective. Always know that you are not the one using this product. You are building for the user. So you don't have to be how do I put this now? Don't build based on, hey, this is what me I want to. I'm building this thing. I mean, I don't like. No, 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 no. You don't have to build based on yours. Build based on what the customers want, what the customers are looking at, what your ideal customers will appreciate. So always look from the user centric side of things. And for the soft skills, like I said yesterday, there should be creative problem solving. You should be able to solve problem. Issues will emerge. There will be disputes between your engineers. The backend does not want to do this, front end want this. No, backend is looking for ways to maneuver and give front end what there are some logic that has to be with backend, but backend is pushing to front end to do the logic. You have to be creative when it comes to problem solving within your team and outside your team. That's to your users now. So you have to, when you are solving your problem, be creative about it. How do I go about this? This is the customer's problem. Let me create not just a solution, but a creative one at that. So you have to have this creative problem solving skills. Solutions that will not only meet customers' needs but exceed their expectation. It's not like I'm just using it just to meet my immediate needs, but they are happy using it and they will come back using the app. So another one is adaptability. Be able to adapt, be agile, be flexible. You have to, when requirement changes, when customer needs changes, you have to be there. Know that you are there to satisfy the customer. When your majority of your customers are complaining about something, do not be too rigid. That no, I can't change it because I don't want to write requirement. You will write requirements. You will write requirements. So you have to be adaptable, like adapt, flexible in your thinking. And empathy, I always say, put yourself in the shoes of your customers. This product, this software that you are building, if you are the user, will you be happy with it? Let's forget about the work part of it now. Just put yourself inside the user's shoe. If you are the one using this product, like you are not the product manager of the product though, you are using the product as an end user now, will you like the product you're saying? So these are things you should always have. These are soft skills you should acquire as a product manager. Then the technical, that's the writing technical spec, technical requirements. That has to do more of technical managers, writing technical documentation, technical requirements. Then the data analytics as well. When you start getting more insight into details. Then the UI UX design. It's not that you should learn UI UX, just have knowledge of it. It's not compulsory you have, but yeah, be able to interpret whatever your designer designs for you. Then product life cycle, you should also have technical knowledge of product life cycles. There's software development life cycle, there's product life cycle. So have if not all the knowledge, just have a brief idea on it. Then for the leadership, effective communication. As a leader, you have to be able to communicate effectively. Be able to communicate to your users effectively. Both users, stakeholders, engineers, you have to demonstrate that leadership skills by being able to communicate to them effectively. Then also the team leadership. You are the team leader. You are directing, you are guiding, you are coordinating with your stakeholders, your engineers, your QA, your designers, the marketing, the operations team. Always be a team leader. Ensure that you do your teamwork. Do not sideline anyone. Work as a team. Do not use more of the boss approach. Then another one is negotiation and conflict resolution. So you should be able to negotiate, and because conflicts will emerge between your engineers. QA will engineers and QA will fight. Engineers and QA most times they are not even friends because QA will always raise bug. Engineers will shout and be like, no, this is how the system should do. So you as the product leader here, you should be able to negotiate and have a very good conflict resolution skill so that you balance things out. So many times QA will raise bugs and engineers don't want to work on that bug. They see it like, I know this is not a bug, this is more of user experience, and engineers are like, no, we have other things we are working on, this one should know, customer should be able to no. Look at your customers. What I always tell them is look at your customers as somebody, someone that is not, do not really emphasize on them as learned people, people that should be a guru. As prof, look at them as novice that they don't know anything about the app, so the app should be self-explanatory, should be self-learned for them. Then stakeholder management, yes, you should be able to manage all the stakeholders involved. You should be able to manage all of the stakeholders that are involved because you are the CEO of the product. Then we have this advanced skill, the agile and the scrum mastery. That's advanced skill, like I said. We mentioned scrum and agile today. Then our road mapping too, it's still an advanced skill you should also look at. Then prioritization techniques, we have different prioritization techniques. We have the ICE prioritization techniques, we have the Moscow prioritization technique, we have the RICE prioritization technique. So there are so many prioritization techniques. We have the Moscow prioritization techniques as well. So there are so many techniques when it comes to prioritization. So yeah, you should also, it's an advanced skills that once you are good in all other aspects, you can also look at them. At least try to be able to use one or two prioritization technique skills. Then performance metrics analysis, that's when you use Google Analytics, when you use uh there's is it mixed panel, yes, to check how people react with your product. So these are product manager skills that you should learn. I'll start from the general one to the soft skills to the leadership skills. Then you can now look at the technical, depending on the kind of product manager you want to be, and the advanced one. So like I showed us earlier, this is a sample of competitive analysis. It's a competitive analysis denoting products 1 to 4 and the future. So using colors to denote. Then this is a customer journey. This is just a draft of the customer's journey. It's just for us to just look through. In case of anything, you can always reach out. So any question from anyone so far? Any question? Are we all with me? Are we following? Are we tired?
I'm not tired.
Yeah, with you, ma.
Okay. Oh, okay. Oluwatosin. Okay. All right. So for our assignments, have we been able to go through it and do what I requested yesterday? Somebody dropped a question. Hold on, let me check. Yes, like I said, agile is the best approach because it's more flexible and takes more of iterative approach. So yes, agile is the best approach, and most organizations embraces agile and Scrum. Scrum is also a specific agile framework. Did that answer your question, Glory? Okay. Glory, let me know if I answered your question and let me know if we have other questions. Any other question from anyone? We are not saying anything. Are we tired? We all decided to come on the call by 10. So it is that we prefer you have to go us to this. We are all quiet.
Ma, someone is asking a question in the chat box.
Okay. I'm just saying that, like, is there any situation where that might not work well? Is there any situation? Well, in this life, I'll say everything that has its own advantage also has disadvantages. But agile has proven to be more efficient. But even though there are still some loopholes when it comes to that, but yeah, there is agile. It's usually like the best approach to go, breaking it down into bit and shipping it out. Agile, yeah, like I said, agile is flexible. So is there like an opposite to agile? One thing about agile is agile would not wait for you to build out all your features in one. You cannot have a one fit all feature. That's one thing about agile. Agile prefers to break it down into smaller pieces. So the only thing is you are not having all your feature, all your enhancements are not in one place. You are shipping out your MVP first, which might, so the downside is they might have limited features compared to full blown products that are in the market. They might just have limited feature. But as time goes on, as you keep iterating your improvements, uh you tend to start having more features on your application. You tend to start having more features in your application. But agile does not like support, okay, have all your features then roll it out. No, you have to keep iterating because it is flexible. And one thing about another downside about agile is, okay, because you tend to come back and change requirements. Your How will I put it now? Your development time might change. Your development time might change. So you can say, oh, you want to build this feature now, you built it and there is a changes, so it will change. It will change, and this will affect the scope of time you would use. So, and most times again, measurement is often kind of tracking progress, which is measurement, is often kind of difficult because it uses a see as you go approach, which means you can set many KPIs when you are starting the project. But as time goes on, measuring progress will be difficult because you keep having requirements that changes because you are flexible. So, and one thing about agile is like there is really no finite end to the end of the production because you keep iterating. So you cannot say, this is the end of the product though. I finally done all my, what's it called? I finally built all my features. So it requires minimal planning at the beginning. But as time goes on, unexpected functionality will come, requirements will set in. So you have additional time, you need additional resources as the case may be. So there's no finite time. So there's never like a clear vision of what your final product will look like. Let me put it that way. There is no final picture of this is how my product is going to look like. You cannot say that this is how your product will be. You can just have a vision of this is the product you are intending to be. But at the end of the day, you can intend to build product A. At the end of the day, you ended up building product B because that's the final product. So those are just the, let me say, disadvantages of an agile methodology. So let me know if that answers your question. Okay. Any other question from anyone? Any
Good morning, ma.
Yeah, good morning. That's
Good morning, ma. This is Martha.
Oh, okay, Martha, good morning.
Okay, thank you so much for the lecture. I'm actually enjoying it. So I wanted to ask, will I say it's like a foolish question, but
There's no
I want to be sure that I actually understand properly. I'm actually new into the tech world. This is my first time. I didn't have any prior knowledge. So most of the terminologies used sometimes it's quite confusing. You just try racking your head around it. So I want to be sure that I understand when you say product, developing product, it has to do with software development, right?
It can be software development, it can be a physical product, it can be anything. It can be a physical product, it can be a service rendered.
Okay. So as a product manager, either of these products can be done by the person invariably.
Correct.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right, so welcome.
Yeah.
Any other question from anyone? Do we have any other question from anyone? We have 1 minute to go. Has everyone done their assignments, please?
No more.
Who's saying no? Abraham, okay. No problem. I'll give us we still have today, tomorrow to do it. Tomorrow, that's why I won't give us assignment today. So tomorrow we can have another assignment for the weekend.
Please, ma, I was absent in yesterday's class due to network issues. Did you give an assignment yesterday?
Okay, yeah, matter. So based on the assignments we gave on the first day, I said we should
Oh,
communicate in clear language. So you've identified if an application that needs a future enhancement. So communicate it in a clear
oh,
language what exactly you want the developers to do.
oh, okay, okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other question from anyone? Is anyone finding the assignment difficult? Let me know.
Ma, the assignment, I just want to clarify. So you told us to pick one problem from problems that we listed, and then um how do I put it now? Try to put it down how we are going to like tell the engineers and stuff. Is that what you told us to do?
Yes, correct. You prioritize all the problems according to the important ones, the ones you need the engineers to work on first. You communicate in a clear language that they understand what exactly you want them to do.
Okay, ma.
Any other question from anyone? Teresa Jo is not on the call today. Uh, she has network issue. That's fine. And after this call, I would upload the slides and the recording of today and yesterday on the LMS so that we can always go back to it. Aside Teresa, who else is not on the call? Oh, I think somebody was saying she'll be on transit today. She lip on the call. Okay, and also, okay. Okay, okay. I trust you've gotten to your destination. Oh, that's very okay. All right. Abraham, I've not heard your voice today. What's happening?
I said, when you asked the assignment, for the assignment, I said no, we've not done it.
Okay, okay. Okay, that's fine. Ali Damala, have I heard your voice today? I've heard, but
Yes, I'm working in the morning. I was the one that asked about the assignment now.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. I've heard Babatunde's voice. I've heard Martha as well. Peace. Are you there at all? I've not heard you today.
Yes, ma'am. There.
Okay, okay.
Just having some network issue.
Oh, okay. It is well. Sorry about that. So for tomorrow's class, let's do 10 as well for tomorrow's class. Are we all in support? Gang 10.
Yes,
Let me
ma'am.
see your emojis. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I can see Ali Damola. Okay, okay, Abraham. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so we'll do 10. We'll use the same meeting link, please. So we do 10. Martha, you said you prefer noon time. It's only Martha that is preferring noon time. Let's look at what next.
Yes, ma. This morning on is quite taxing. Like now, I'm in the office trying to tidy up my report, so my attention is so divided.
Oh, so sorry. So sorry about that. So sorry.
So the morning hours is not usually convenient for me.
Mm, I got it. I got it. Okay, no problem. Let's just do. I think many people are just supporting 10. Let's do 10, and then next week, let's see how next week will be. But don't worry, I'll do also
All right.
do the recording on the LMS.
All right, ma. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Any other question from anyone? So we've all agreed tomorrow's class is going to be 10. Let's endeavor to join early. Okay, and also David said somebody should take a screenshot of the attendance. Has someone done that? Anyone to do that?
Yes, I've done it. I've sent it.
Oh,
I think
okay.
someone just joined. Let me-
Okay. Glorious. Why you just joining when we are wrapping up? Glorious, can you hear me? I'm not sure if Glorious is able to mute, unmute. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. So we have 2 more minutes. Let me know if there's anything you want us to touch on before we end the call and call it a day. I hope we understood today's class and we're able to learn one or two things. Are we?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, that's fine. So thanks everyone for taking out time to attend to this class. We would adjourn our meeting and we'll be meeting tomorrow again, same time. Let's do all to join on time and we'll use the same link. All right, have do enjoy the rest of your day, guys.